Welcome to Diary of a Dreamer, where resilience unlocks your potential. I'm Tasha Eizinger, and each week I'll bring you powerful stories and practical insights from my own experiences and inspiring guests. Whether you're facing challenges or chasing dreams, this podcast is your go-to for motivation, building confidence, and practical tips for transforming obstacles into opportunities. Be sure to check out my website, tashaeizinger.com. Let's dive into today's episode and start turning your dreams into reality. Today we are with Jamie of Humble Heart Press, which is an online printing company for smaller businesses, which we will dive into that because I have utilized the services and love the company and everything Jamie does. She's also a homeschooling mom of 5 boys. She also co-directs a thriving, what's it called? Charlotte Mason.
Yeah, Charlotte
Co-op.
Mason inspired co-op community. Yeah.
Okay, which is amazing. And then not only all of that, she is leading a movement called Homeschool Unburdened. So I am excited, Jamie, to visit with you today and learn so much from you about how you're able to juggle all of this. And I just love it when I meet people who are going out and making a difference. And that's exactly what you're doing with everything that I'm seeing you do. So let's dive into how we met.
Okay.
Right. We met because of the Midwest Homeschool Expo through Jean Lee. And I highly recommend everybody goes in 2026. It's June of 2026. I'll include links. But Jamie, you did some printing for me.
Mm-hmm.
It was beautiful. Like,
thank you.
You made sure you understood what the job was. You made sure it was professional, shipped timely, everything. I always get nervous when it's paper stuff when I opened it and it looked great.
Yeah.
You got it down to a science. So thank you for doing your job so well. And that made my job a lot easier too.
My pleasure. I absolutely love what we do. We just take this one skill that we have, which is to print and bind things really, really well. And we serve the homeschool community as well as like small entrepreneurs. I have partnerships with homeschool moms really that have a business of creating some kind of digital resource, and I get to partner with them. And I'm so passionate about people doing what they're good at and teaming up in community with other people that are good at things and doing it better so that we are all kind of living more abundantly and less burdened. And so that's kind of what the company is to me. I'm helping homeschoolers be able to be focused on the things that are most important, on teaching, parenting, and just doing daily life. And I'm helping entrepreneurs focus on the creation and the homeschooling and taking care of their home. And isn't that enough? Like, they don't need to do the whole back end printing and shipping operation. And so I love what we do. I think my job is the greatest. I get to look at awesome homeschool curriculum and resources all day long. So it's kind of a dream. And it's just a joy to be there for people.
So you're like learning as you're like flipping through, like, this is good stuff.
Yes. Oh my gosh. I mean, it's literally a homeschool mom's dream. I get to just look through curriculum all the time. So it's a little bit dangerous, let me tell you.
You're taking you have like Post-it notes everywhere. Like, this is good.
Yes. Except it's all really good. Like, it's all so good.
I love it. Well, and so I'm an author of a picture book series. So I print through different sources there. And then through my Little Shop Publishers Workshop, it's a different type of printing. And what people don't realize is it is a lot more complicated than just sending a document, first of all. And secondly, printing is so expensive.
Yes.
Like, I work with
that blew my mind.
Yeah, I work with a bigger company because they can also distribute my books as well for libraries and places like that. And COVID, and then a year later, like within that time frame, in 1 year, printing cost per book went up $2. $2?
No, this all came about because I fell in love with like a digital curriculum that was only provided digitally. And I was just in Facebook groups and people were like, I love this so much, but I took it to Staples to get printed and they quoted me $200. And we had actually moved and set up a semi-professional print shop to print gospels. We felt like a ministry had been put on our heart, and then COVID shut down the world, and that wasn't going to work out. And I'm like, what are we going to do? And I saw these comments and I was like, we could do that for like $40. Why is Staples charging $200? And I was like, what if we became a homeschool printing company? And so then I went and searched for other homeschool printing. I'm like, is the market saturated? I found one company that had been long established, but their turnaround time was 2 to 4 weeks from the time they received a document and an order to shipping. And I was like, okay, like there's going to be a lot more homeschoolers. I think there's room in the market. And our main goals are going to be, we're going to make the ordering process really, really simple. We're going to keep our turnaround time really, really fast. And we're going to have our quality be great. And one of the things that I do that I think is really smart for this space is that I don't provide every single option under the sun. Like
That's
all of
smart.
our stuff is 28-pound paper. It's the best blend. I get it at a cheaper price because I'm not switching things. I save time in production because I'm not offering 3 different types of paper, and it's just better. And I'm like, if you're paying for a better product, give them the better paper and we get it for the cheaper price.
I
But
love that you say this, Jamie, because I noticed the quality of the paper.
mhm.
I'm not kidding. Like that was one of the things, and it sounds so funny because before being an author, I never paid attention to paper weight, and I was like, this
Yeah,
is good paper. Like you do not mess around on quality. And it makes sense
no,
because you're not, like you said, you're not wasting any time.
exactly. I don't want to waste time in production. We're a small family business, and I kind of, as the professional, want to make some of those choices for you so that the things that you're choosing from on my website are all good choices, but you're not overwhelmed with 100 different options either. Like, I understand what it is to be a homeschool mom. You probably have about 4.7 minutes to make an order before a child needs something. Like, so I try to make it as simple as possible.
Which I love. I'm not a homeschooling mom, but as a small business owner,
Yes,
like
yeah,
nothing is made or created until I do it in my business because it's a startup, right?
yeah.
So
Mhm.
whether you're a homeschooling parent or a small business owner, like it's such a great fit to work with you. And I love that it's all online. You kind of hit on it already, but can you talk about the publishing partnership program you have?
Yeah. So basically, I kind of thought to myself, like, if I was a homeschooling mom and I create digital products, what is the number one thing that I need? And the thing that I need as a homeschooling mom who runs this printing business is I need help getting the word out that I exist, right? So I just teamed up. It started as like, if you send your customers to me, I'll give all your customers a discount and they get professional printing and you get to outsource all of that as the entrepreneur. I've since, I'm going deeper and creating more options for this. So I create hidden store pages now where you buy the digital, you get a link. It opens up to that product already set up for printing. So you don't have to answer all the questions. Is it color, black and white, double-sided, single-sided? How do you want it bound? Like, me and the publisher have already gotten together and be like, here's how it should be printed. So it's a way easier checkout
It's
process.
amazing.
And we have over like 40 brands already that refer all their printing to us, which is amazing. And I just take their trust and their faith that they're sending their customers who they want to take really good care of to us. And so it's just a very high responsibility that I have to serve them really, really well. And I think it's just a partnership made in heaven. Like, I think it's wonderful.
I think it's brilliant on so many levels.
Thank you.
You are really good at knowing where to focus on. There's not too many entrepreneurs that I talk to that sound as honed in on what you're doing. Part of it is like even Darren Hardy says, if you want things done, hire a mom, right? Because you
Yeah.
don't have the time to just be wasting. So I think there's an
Exactly.
element of that. But how do you know which areas to focus on? You just like sit around and reflect for a while? Like, how do you figure all this out?
So, to be fair, I started out a mess, and I want to be really transparent about this. I am a child of firstborn college not firstborn, a first generation college student. I went to UC Berkeley, but I come from a broken family, lots of trauma. My family were hoarders. And I just started out adult life with a great resume with zero life skills. So I did all this work in school and they told me, you're going to be successful. Like, this is what you need to do. And I did all that so that I would have the freedom to choose to be a stay-at-home mom and be present for my children. And then I start having kids and it's all, I don't know how to manage a household. I don't know how to cook well. I don't know how to how do you clean an oven? I had no basic life skills. So this all comes from kind of starting from scratch. The one skill that I do have is how to research the things that I need to learn and go find them. So I have taken courses on minimalism, which I think is a huge part of being able to manage everything, is to have less stuff to manage. I mean, I've taken courses on everything, really, of like how to do it most efficiently. And because I had 3 children in under 5 years and a couple years later had 2 more children, 18 months apart, I never had extra time. I never had extra mental energy. So I always had to turn and say, what is the one thing that I could do today to move the needle? And then I started reading some business books and I found this common thread of some of the best CEOs. And it was, they know how to say no, and they know how to target the one thing that's going to move the needle. And they never get bogged down in the weeds of the busy work. They're constantly thinking like a CEO. What is the CEO's job? And so I started to apply that to my daily life. And like, I'm the mom, I run the homeschool. What are the things that absolutely I need to do? So I've learned how to really target the things that I shouldn't be doing, and then the most high value things that I should be doing. Because some days I only have 30 minutes to walk into the office and be like, what's the one thing that I need to do today? And so I have this mind map exercise that maps out the things that I'm really skilled at and enjoy doing and must do, or the things that I dread and I'm not skilled at doing. So for a time, I used meal service boxes because thinking about dinner was just way too much. And then I learned kind of the pattern of what they do and how they utilize the ingredients, and I absorbed that, and then I didn't need it anymore. And then at another season of life, I eventually was able to hire a production manager who handles base production so that I can be focused on the higher order of how does this company grow? How does it scale? How are these partnerships going to work? So as soon as something can be offloaded, I'm the person who's trying to offload it. I am the person that's teaching my children to fold their own laundry and to do the dishes. The dishes and the laundry in my home are on an automatic loop schedule. It's their habit training based on their morning routine and their dinner cleanup routine, and these things become automatic. Because
And you're
another thing that
teaching them the life skills that you were not
yes,
taught. So well
exactly.
done. Well
Thank
done.
you.
I don't
Thank
want you
you.
to forget or miss that aspect. You're
Yes.
raising children who someday, instead of learning how to do those things, they're going to be able to take what you're doing to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we want, right? Is that we
Yes.
do better than our parents and that our kids do better than us, and that you just like elevated it light years for them because of everything you've done.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. That's a really great compliment because that is something I'm really passionate about. And so I found a couple resources early on. Laying Down the Rails by Sonia Schaefer is all about habit training for children. Atomic Habits by James Clear, recommend every single person should read that book. And then Home Management, Plain and Simple by Kim Brenneman. She's a homeschooling mom of 10. She teaches these systems of how to put every single task in your home on an automatic system. So I took her system and she groups everything by day. So I can share pictures of this if you'd like. But
Yeah,
there's
please do.
kitchen day and there's town day. So you're grouping all your errands together, and you're saving all of the time that you spend getting shoes on everybody, getting in the car, because you're being more efficient. There's planning day where you make all your phone calls, you do all your grading, you pay all your bills, you set up the next week. She had a laundry day, which I like to do 1 load a day. So I changed that to a business focused day. And then a cleaning day where you do some of your more deep cleaning things. There's a few tasks that you do every single week, and then you do the quarterly and monthly tasks, and you might just pick one from the next list. And
Okay,
so,
can I interrupt for a second?
yeah,
As I'm hearing this, absolutely loving it and see where you're going. And I
okay.
always like to think of the people listening who are like, right, but, right? There's always
Mhm.
somebody that's gonna, okay, but what if you don't feel like it? Or you don't have time that day? Or your
Or your
kids don't
family
want to
gets
do it?
sick.
Right. So,
Yes. So the beauty of the system is that it takes into account that you're going to fall off the wagon. It takes into account that your whole family is going to have the flu for a week or you're going to go on vacation. And the beauty of it is that Wednesday kitchen day is going to come around again and you just pick up where you left off. So,
that
where
takes the pressure
schedules,
off.
yes, where schedules and all these things fail, because if you get behind, then you're behind forever and the whole thing falls apart. A system, a loop system like this, it understands that you're going to fall off and you just get right back on wherever you are.
Oh,
And
this
so
has
that works for my
been,
life because I fall off all the time, but I know how to get back on.
I like
And
that
then,
because it takes the pressure off of being perfect. And
no,
moms
there's
are
no such
already,
thing.
no, and moms are already, we're so hard on ourselves
Yes.
to keep it together all the time. And even the moms who say they aren't, I see them. They're trying to keep
Mhm.
it together all the time, right?
Yes.
So this teaches more like realistic way of living.
Yes. And this is another big thing that I want to get across is that your prefrontal cortex is an energy hog. I learned this. It uses like 90% of the energy of your brain. And so when everything is in your head, a loop, okay, then I got to do this, then I got to do this, and what I'm going to do next, it is draining you. But when it becomes a habit, it goes to a completely different part of your brain that uses a fraction of the same amount of energy. And so when you create a system like this, you are paying yourself dividends of time and energy and mental load, your mental capacity. These are all limited resources. We cannot treat them as if they are unlimited. What we can do is steward them intentionally and wisely.
That
And
one thing
so,
right there, Jamie, if everybody heard that and actually just applied that one concept of your prefrontal cortex requires 90% of your brain's energy. And if we can move things into habits and use less of that, you have just helped so many people with that one
yes.
thing. That's
If I
life-changing
could just give
information.
anyone those one thing, it's get it off your mind, get it
Yeah.
onto a system. And I have kind of this thing that I teach at convention of all the different ways that you can outsource things. There's paid outsourcing, but there's also trade. There's your community. You have skills that you can trade for time and other people's skills. Family delegation. Too many moms are just doing everything themselves. I mean, if you have a partner, if you have extended family, and if you have children, everybody should be doing their fair share and laying
And
down the rails.
also just going back to this whole thing of your kids need to learn how to do this stuff.
Yes.
Like, if you
Mhm.
want them to be capable, independent adults someday, which I would venture to guess that we all do, they need to
Mhm.
learn how to do it. So it's not even just like, well, mom doesn't want to do it, so she's passing it off. It's like, no, we're teaching our children how to be part of this family and this home, but also so that when they're adults, they know how to do it.
Yes, absolutely. And here's a couple tips on this that really changed my life. Number one, when you're training a new habit for a child, you're focused on that one habit for 6 to 8 weeks. And you are making sure that that child is progressing and consistent, and you never want to let it slip. But that means that you can kind of let some other things slide while you're focused on this one habit. And here's the thing, once it becomes a habit, they do it almost automatically without thinking. So in my house, everyone has a morning chore, a dinner chore, and an anytime chore because habit stacking is helpful, but I also want them to realize that they just need to be ready to help when something needs to be done. So my oldest son mastered the dishes. He did the dishes for about a year. I don't like to change it up. I only change it up every 6 months to a year. And that makes it way easier, way less mental energy going into this, accomplishing the same task, and they master it. So he can load a load of dishes in 10 minutes, and he really is not even thinking about it. And he learned the way that he likes to load the dishwasher, and he learned that he could listen to a podcast and make it more enjoyable. And now if he needs to step in for his brother, maybe his brother's sick and his brother took over the job, he can do that without almost thinking about it. He's not expending the same amount of energy as when he was first using it. And so I'm going to rotate my children through all of those house chores. So when they graduate and they're 18, they can do everything. And maybe they find a different delegation system. And one person wants to do the garbage and one person wants to do the dishes. That's fine. But at least they were exposed to everything. And that's kind of how I approach education as well. We don't have to master every single subject. We don't have to know every single fact of history, but we need to be exposed to everything and then know how to dive deeper when that need arises, right?
Yeah, learn how to use our own brain.
Yes.
That's
Learn how
important.
to learn.
Yes, which you are a
Yes.
master at that. Like, I
Thank
know,
you.
like, you're thinking and you literally said, like, you didn't have life skills. What you had were survival skills
Mhm.
growing up,
Yeah.
right? Those survival skills were teaching you how to sort through what's most important.
Hmm.
And it's
Yeah. And
unfortunate you had to learn it that way. Like, that's really not fair that that's how you had to learn it. But you took that thing of that one thread and are like mastering so many different things and benefiting yourself and so many people around you.
thank you. And it really worked out because Humble Heart Press has grown, I mean, 50 to 100% year over year. We're only going into year 6 and we're scaling. And since I started Humble Heart Press, I know of 3 or 4 similar printing companies that have both started and closed their doors in that time. And so I'm kind of looking back and going, okay, what did I do differently and how can I keep doing it so I can be the one that's here for the long haul? And I really think it's because I had so many children. I went in every day and was like, what's the one thing I needed to do? I tried so hard not to I couldn't, basically. I didn't have the luxury of busy work. I did not have the time. My children needed me. My husband needed me. My house needed me. And so I only did the most important things. And I think that's where so many entrepreneurs struggle is they're doing tasks that they could be outsourcing. And then who's doing the CEO's job? Who's
So
got the
what is
bigger
the
vision of the
CEO
company?
job, right? So you're saying like you focused on the one thing. I could imagine there's a lot of people that are starting up because a startup business is very different
Mhm.
because
Yes.
nothing exists until you do it, right? So, and you don't really know what's going to work, what's going to stick, what's not.
Mhm.
You don't have enough data at the beginning to know. So how do you figure out, okay, this is the thing that matters. This is what the CEO is going to do today.
I mean, in the beginning, I did do everything, right? I did 90% of the things. And I always prioritized the people, addressing emails. And then I was doing all of the orders. And then, every week I would try to do one thing to market or share on social media. Or I would just have a time block of like 20 minutes. I'm going to go in and answer people's questions on Facebook group. I mean, I grew this company one comment at a time, answering one person's question at a time and serving them really, really well. And the word of mouth growth from that, I don't advertise. I don't even have an advertising budget until now, basically. So for 5 years, it has just been operating based on my true principles, serving people really well, focusing on the high level tasks. And then we scaled fast enough, thanks to our partners, that I was able to then hire a part time who turned full time production manager. So now I'm focused on what are the most important decisions of this company day to day. And I'm answering her questions and I keep all those things going and we're managing, okay, now we're scaling. So what is our quality control process going to look like? How can we make these partnerships better? How can we make sure our customer service experience is still solid? All these bigger questions, but I don't have to be the person that executes that 24/7. And honestly, the company does better when I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Because my first ministry will always be a mother, and then I have the homeschooling, and so I have all the things. So it my weakness turned into a strength, really. And then I love to teach that to other people because we take on the world. We think we have to do everything, and you will burn out if you do that. Like, I speak from experience. Protect your own heart, protect your mind, protect your energy, because, Charlotte Mason says education is an atmosphere, a discipline, and a life. And that is what I hold so near and dear to my heart, because the atmosphere of your home is literally 1/3 of your child's education. And how we show up, our facial expressions, our tone, our energy, our curiosity for learning, that sets the tone for our family in a big way. And if we're tired and we're burnt out and we're dreading the homeschooling, that's you're going to feel that. And then the
And
discipline or the
also,
habits. Go
oh,
ahead.
go ahead. I was gonna say, and also it's just not fair to us to live that way, where we're
No.
just like hanging on by a thread, which
No.
impacts
Yeah.
our own health negatively.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to live as well or as long. Like, what kind of life is that? Like, we need to
Mm-hmm.
be able to live fully,
Yes.
and our kids
And
will
your
duplicate that.
children, your children need to see you modeling, because consciously or unconsciously, you're giving them permission. You're either showing them that to perform is to live a good life, or to live that we're all born persons, we're all worthy. And your kids catch a lot. They say more is caught than
Unfortunately,
taught.
they
So
really do.
are
They
you
really do.
modeling the kind of life that you hope for your children to have? And I
Yeah.
hope that really allows a lot of moms to just let go of that guilt and that burden that they're putting on themselves. You
Yeah.
know, if you don't like teaching math, don't teach math. Get an online program. Find a friend that loves math. If you love art, teach her kids art and let her teach your kids math. There's co-op communities, there's classes, there's so many resources. And on the same vein, like, if you don't like printing your own curriculum and spending a whole evening or 3 printing curriculum for the year, then don't do it.
Yeah.
I provide this service because it helps people, it saves time. And another thing people don't really do is they don't weigh the true cost of things. So I want people to remember there is a sunk cost. So when you're weighing a service like meals, meal boxes, or printing services, you have to think about what you're already spending on those things and what you're saving by using a service, right? So when you print at home, you have sunk costs of your own ink, which is much more expensive, your time, your energy. You have to weigh all of those things against the cost and the time and the energy, right? And the mental capacity. And is that really the best use? Sometimes it is. If you love doing it and you make a night of it and dad takes the kids out to the movies and it's fun for you, then that's one thing. If it's stressful, if it's time consuming, if you have better things that you can be doing with your time. So I want to just invite everybody to really make every decision so intentional of time, energy, mental capacity, and money, not just money.
Yes, you're right, because we forget how much like our energy can cost us,
Yes.
or it can be an investment.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes I look at, what I'm doing, whether it's time or money, is this costing me or is it an investment?
Mm-hmm.
And if
Exactly.
I can save some of my energy, like for example, I go for walks in my yard as part of my health and well-being. It's very important. I want my girls to see that I do get in exercise and all of that. And especially with my younger one, when she was littler, like she'd just stand at the door, like crying, like, "No, mom." I'm like, "I'm literally walking in the yard." I'm not even leaving the property, and it would kind of break my heart, but I thought, okay, this is important for her to see, like, no, this is how I stay healthy,
Yes.
right? It's an investment. And now that she's a little bit older, she's like, okay, see you, mom. And I'm like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
you can see me through the window, right? But sometimes I think we choose those short terms, because short term, it would have been easier for me to just say, okay, I'm so sorry, baby. I know you miss, I'm coming back inside.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But long term, that's costing so much.
Yes. I mean, the mental health of the mother and the primary parent that's in the home is one of the top predicting factors of the mental health of the children. So if you need permission, I'm here to give it to you.
Yeah.
Homeschool moms, you deserve time off. You need to find a way to get yourself time off. I don't care if it's a half hour a week, an hour a week, a day, 2 days a week. Find a way. I mean, there's a wonderful book called Introverted Mom, and it has lists of things that you can do to refill your cup with 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 1 hour, 1 day a week, just lists upon lists. So go grab that book if you need ideas. But it is so, so important to me that you know that you deserve that and you need to give that to yourself, not just for your own sake, but for your children's sake.
Yeah. And I think that, like, let me rephrase that. For homeschooling moms in particular, that I don't know if people quite realize completely, because motherhood's hard. I'm not comparing like what's harder and what's easier, because it's all hard because we care about our children so much. Okay. If we didn't care, it'd be easy.
Yeah.
But homeschooling moms, you're in the home with your children 24/7. Even if they're going to like a programming or something, you probably still have a kid with you, or you're helping other people's kids. You really don't get a break to just be.
Mhm.
So I like that suggestion of the book and the 5 minutes and stuff that's more doable. That I appreciate that you mentioned that and gave these incredible women, like, give yourself a break. You need it.
Yes. And having the proper mindset about these things, like, invest in yourself, invest in your own education, invest in your well-being. You are the teacher, you are the principal, you are the janitor, you are everything to this home, and you would invest in that in any other circumstance. So don't forget to invest in that for your own home and your homeschool.
So, Jamie, thank you for all of the tips. Great recommendations. I know that you had shared there's going to be a promotional offer for the listeners. So, if you could share that, and like, how can people get in touch with you?
That looks like for you, target the things that would be most life-giving to get off of your plate. And if, for example, that is some of the administrative tasks of homeschooling, I would warmly invite you to try out Humble Heart Press. Our website is humbleheartpress.com. We are giving away $5 for your first order with a coupon code that will be linked in this podcast. And then if you subscribe to our email list, you will get 15% off your next order. We are confident that if you try it, you will love it. And if you don't, that's okay too. We also sell keepsake journals for homeschooling that are completely customizable, one-of-a-kind, exclusive on our website. So I encourage you to check those out as well. And I will be around for any questions. I would love to share my template for how I manage the home as well, if anyone would love that. So it's been a pleasure and an honor to be here with you. And I hope it just helps somebody today.
If anybody was listening, it did. If they're paying attention. This was a great interview. So thank you, Jamie, for being here. And
Thank you for having me.
I feel very confident if anybody wants to print, they should print through you. It's high quality, incredible professionalism. So I hope everybody checks out Humble Heart Press. And thank you again, Jamie.
Thank you, Tasha. Bye.
Let me go ahead. Thank you for tuning into this episode of Diary of a Dreamer. I hope you found the stories and tips shared today to be a source of motivation and strength. Remember, every challenge you face is a chance to grow and move closer to your dreams. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share this podcast with anyone who could use a boost of encouragement. Please check out my website, TashaEizinger.com.